Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability community. This community is for busy moms and busy women who are ready to take back their life, feel more confident, be stronger, and have more energy, all while learning simple habits and changes that allow you to continue to enjoy the things in life you love without having to give them up. And that can be food, that can be activities, that can be a variety of things. So I do know we have had a ton of new members jump into this group in the last couple of weeks, really since our last live call. So knowing that, I'm going to do a brief overview of what you guys can expect. I know some of you have seen that welcome message, but what you can expect in this group is the first Thursday of each month at noon Eastern Standard Time. I go live in this group for a live training session, workshop, mastermind of some sort. I kind of change up the name based on what we're working on and what the topic is. But so this week, or this month, I should say, our topic is the who, what, when, and where of interval training. So today we're going to talk all about interval training. I've had a lot of questions come up about how do I get my cardio in and make it more fun and more creative? And should I be doing interval training? Should I not be doing it? So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But for those of you who are new and you're like, well, where are all the other trainings that you've been doing? Up above, when you're in the Facebook group across the top, you should see a thing says a tab that says guides. If you click that guide section, you will see our trainings broken up into fitness, nutrition, mindset, accountability. And if you are looking for a specific training, go into that guide and look through some of those. I have a ton in there and there's a ton more on YouTube. So if you don't see what you're looking for, I recommend going to our YouTube channel because every single training that I've done since I started doing this back in 2020 is all on YouTube as well. If you can't find it in the Facebook group or Facebook is you're not very familiar with it and YouTube's more of your jam, go to YouTube, check out our YouTube page and find the trainings you're looking for there. So if you are watching here live on Facebook right now today, drop hashtag live in the comments below. Let me know you are here and watching. If you are watching on YouTube or on here later on tomorrow down the road, a month from now, drop hashtag replay in the comments below. Let me know you're here. Is also when you comment, I do follow up with you. See what your insights were. Do you need help with anything that we learned? Hey, did you get the things implemented that I suggested? So I do hold some accountability when you do participate, just an extra level. So some updates here before we get into the training. Every month, in addition to this free training, I do a paid workshop, which if you are part of our inner circle, it's absolutely free. You are already getting the workshop, but I do allow some people who are not in our inner circle to join that workshop. So our workshop in August is going to be self-massage and recovery techniques. If you have increased your workouts and you're feeling you're a little bit sore and you feel like you're making sure you are stretching, you're working on mobility, you're eating enough, you're drinking your water, but you want to learn how to get some of those knots out or learn a little bit more about foam rolling, trigger point. Maybe you've got a massage gun that you're not sure how to use. This month on August 20th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing a master class on how to do some self massage, trigger point, use some of those tools you have sitting around your house to release some of those knots and make us feel better throughout our day, whether it's post workout or it's just we've been sitting in front of the computer all day long. So if you have any interest in that, just drop a workshop in the comments below. In September, we are doing a DIY fitness equipment workshop where I'm going to show you how to use things from all around your house to make your own home gym, or when you're out traveling, how to use things that you have on hand so that you can still continue to do your workouts if you don't have a gym available. So if you have any interest in either of those, just drop workshop below. I'll reach out to you. I'll let you know what price looks like, replay, all the things that you're going to get bonus. But if either of those topics interest you, drop workshop below. The other super exciting thing is come September, you are going to get more things from me. So this group used to be a weekly Thursday training. And over time, I have taken it back to just that one monthly training. And that is because I've been working on launching a podcast. So September 12th, we will launch the Empower Her Wellness podcast with me. And I'm super excited because what we will, I've noticed that a lot of us are listening to podcasts. We're listening on the go. And Facebook is not the easiest way to do that, and neither is YouTube. They make your screen stay open. If you close it, you can't always hear things. It's a little bit more fumbly when you're in the car. So the first Thursday of each month is going to continue to be a free training inside of this group. But then the second, third, and fourth Thursday of the month, I will be releasing a podcast, and you'll be able to find the podcast on whatever platform you use. So make sure to be on the lookout. I'm going to be sending a bunch of emails, be posting in the group once it is live. But September 12th, you're going to get 3 episodes from me on that day when we launch. So keep that in mind. Mark your calendar if you want more content. And we have that coming up here in the next month, which I'm excited for. So for today, the who, what, when, and whys of interval training. I started using an interval timer when I started teaching group fitness classes because it was really easy for me in the beginning to forget how much time had gone by. And I would look up at the clock and then I'd watch everybody's form, and all of a sudden the clock would move, and keeping track of that was challenging. So I found the interval timer, and it was the best thing for teaching classes because I could set my warm-ups. I could set, okay, we're going to do this exercise for this many seconds, this one, and I could choose all of my transitions, and it was fantastic. But then I was getting back into running around that time, and I just running for mileage or running until, say, running for time, just boring at the same speed. It's just so boring. So I started using my interval timer in cardio, whether I was biking on my stationary bike inside, or I was outside running or wanting to do a walk run, and making sure that I got a good workout in rather than just feeling like I went out and moved, which is sometimes really good to do. But there's times when you want to make sure you get a good workout in, that you're pushing yourself. So the interval timer came in, and it was awesome. It made my workouts go by faster. I stopped doing my runs or my walks for mileage. I did it for time. So I set my interval timer up for my warm up time. When did I want to do low to moderate intensity? When did I want to do high intensity? How many times did I want to flip back and forth? And then what did my cool down look like? So I started doing that, and my workouts were so much more fun, especially in the summer when it's really hot and running's not the first thing you want to get up and do, or it's the middle of the day. Having these intervals was a really great way to increase that intensity without completely wiping myself out for the rest of the day. So we're going to dive into the who should be doing interval training. And it's more of a who and who can. Anyone and everyone can do interval training because it is based on time blocks. And when we base things on time blocks, you have the flexibility to choose how intense you push yourself or how non-intense you push yourself. For instance, I have people that use this interval timer. We set it up and they do a normal walk and a power walk is their 2 levels of intensity. People do a walk run or a walk jog or a run jog or a run sprint. You can come up with whatever combo as long as you are splitting up 2 different levels of intensity. That's really what makes the interval timer and allows you to do intervals, is you have to be doing 2 different levels of intensity. So when you think about this, is it's for everybody. It can, whether you're younger, you're older, and you choose the time frame. There's no set of you must do your intervals for a length of 30 minutes. No, maybe you go out and you have 15 minutes and you're going to do your intervals for 15 minutes. Maybe you're going to do it for 30. I typically make mine that include my warm up and my cool down 30 to 40 minutes, only because that is the time that I have committed to myself to make sure I get out and I move my body when I do cardio. So knowing that, I make my intervals around that and I make them fun, which we will break down and we'll talk about here in a little bit. But the who, it's for everyone. It's for everyone because it's based on time and not a set intensity. You get to choose your intensity and you get to choose how long you are in that intensity. So what does interval training involve? It does require a little bit of planning on your part because you can go out and you can say, I'm going to run for 30 minutes. But if you want to do intervals, you have to do a little bit of planning and say, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to have a 5-minute warm up. I'm going to have a 5-minute cool down. Okay, that gives me 20 minutes. How do I want to take that 20 minutes of my workout time and turn that into my intervals? So it does take a little bit of planning on your part. It also, you want to make sure that you're not doing your intervals, especially when you're going to be doing, let's say, run sprint, you don't want to be doing those on the same day that you already have another high intensity workout. I typically do these intervals on a day when this is my only workout, and the rest of my day is working or just general movement around the house, out and about, things like that. Because these intervals are shorter, we tend to push ourselves a little bit more, knowing that we have a shorter amount of time to do it. So it does take some planning. It does involve downloading a timer. If you want it to be something that is seamless, that just happens, and you don't have to think about it during your run, your walk, you want to make sure you download it. You want to make sure you download the interval timer. I will drop the link after in the comments. Um, I love the one that I've had. I've had it since I started. There may be better ones out there. This one's really easy to use. It saves all my stuff. I can name them. I can put a warm up, cool down, rest, high intensity. I can choose different sounds based on all of that. And I do have a how-to video. So I'll drop the how-to video link as well as the link to the Apple download in the comments after this video. Also on Saturday, you'll get an in case you missed it email with all of this information as well. So keep that in mind. So it does take you downloading an app. It does say it takes some patience because learning a new tool, no matter what it is, can have its challenges. So have some patience with it the first couple times. I'm here to help if you get stuck. And then the last thing is you just getting ready for your workout and pushing start and going and doing it. There's really there's a little bit of pre-planning, but once you've done it a couple times, it's really easy to do and it's fun. And you'll find the intervals and the sets that you've created, the ones you like, the ones you don't, and you can modify them. And maybe you just stick with one or two of them for a long time until you get bored of them. Then we switch them. When to incorporate interval training into your routine. So, depending on your level of experience and if you've ever done this, start with just one day a week. I wouldn't recommend doing this every day. Start with it just one day a week because it is a change to your body. We want to make sure that you are getting a good sense of, okay, so I'm here, I'm going at a walk. Okay, now I'm going to run. But knowing that we're here for a shorter period of time, like I mentioned, we tend to push ourselves a little bit more. So it's important that we start to listen to our body and know, okay, I can push myself this much. Okay, I pushed myself a little too hard yesterday. I need to make sure that next time I do this, I have a better understanding. So it does take a little bit of a learning curve. Start with one day a week. If you're an experienced runner, you can go into 2 days. Just depends on what your goals are as well. But one day a week is a great thing, especially if you are doing multiple cardio sessions throughout the week. It will definitely break one of those up. And there's a lot of benefits to this, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But start with one. You can always build up. That's something we talk about a lot here is we start with one thing. We get really good at the one thing, and then we build into the next thing. We're building micro habits. Why is interval training effective? So, first off, it creates variety in your workouts. It keeps you excited. It keeps you wanting to go back and push yourself a little bit more, especially on days when you don't want to. Cardio wise, it's going to help you improve your cardio fitness by increasing your body's ability to use oxygen, which can strengthen the heart and lungs. And then shorter efforts during the interval training allows for higher intensity, which can stimulate your ability to go faster. So if you're somebody who's been running at, let's say, a 7 minute mile, I don't know, 7 minute mile, you're the last couple months, you've wanted to go faster, incorporating some interval training where you get these short bursts for a minute or two to go a little bit faster, then bring it back down to that slower speed can actually make you faster in the long run. So any of my clients who I have who are just avid runners and they're like, I want to get a little faster, I have them do interval training once a week to make sure that we are also practicing being able to go faster and not having to sustain it for a long period of time. We want short bursts. So where should you start? The where should you start here is first think about what is that time frame that you are going to go out, and that includes your warm up and your cool down, as I mentioned. So let's say you have a 5 minute warm up and you have a 5 minute cool down, and your whole total workout is going to be 30 minutes. So that is 20 minutes of work. From there, what I think about is, am I going to run, walk? Am I going to jog, run? Am I going to run, sprint? How do I feel today? Things like that. One of my favorite ones that I like to do, especially when I'm starting out or it's been a really long time, is that lower intensity. I give myself a longer period of time, and that higher intensity, I give myself a shorter period of time. So, one of mine that's a staple for when I haven't done this in a while is I've got a 5 minute warm up. I've got 2 minutes at moderate intensity. So, for me, that's either a walk or a jog, depending on the day. And then after those 2 minutes, the timer will go ding. And then I have 1 minute of high intensity, and that's where I pick up the pace and it's challenging. And on that level, I've talked about that scale to 1 to 10. That moderate for those 2 minutes, I'm at a 5 or a 6. I can hold a conversation with someone. I'm a little out of breath, but I can still have a conversation. I'm not, no, I can still control that breathing really well. Whereas that 1 minute, I'm no longer holding that conversation. That breathing is heavier. And when that 1 minute ding is done, I'm really looking forward to that 2 minutes of bringing that pace back down. So, one of the reasons I like to start with that is because that recovery period, knowing that I have not done that in a while, I want to give myself a longer recovery period instead of a shorter recovery period. So then I just put it in there and I'll say, okay, so 2 minutes, 1 minute is the split. Repeat 5 times. It will tell me how long that is. And then I'm like, okay, so I need to get one more in there. You can choose how many times you do it based on how much time is left, which in that how-to video, it breaks it down so you can actually see what it looks like. Some other splits that depending on where you're at. So biking wise, I'll do 20-10, and that's Tabata style. So usually when I do a 20-10, I will do 20 second sprint. I'll do 20 seconds moderate, 10 second sprint. Repeat that for about 8 rounds as like my start. And then I'll go into 2 minute of moderate, 1 minute of high intensity. So in that interval timer, you can have multiple different interval circuits in that long stretch. So you can play with this as much as you want. You can have 1 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute to 5 minute, 30 second, 30 second. It can be whatever you want. But I do recommend when you start out, make sure that lower intensity is a longer stretch of period than that high intensity. And once that starts to feel comfortable, then you can make them even, or you can just lengthen that time in each section. Action steps. I'm going to drop those links in the comments below. I want you to download the Interval Timer app. You can get it for your Android or your Apple device. I'll drop the link for both below. I'm also going to drop the link to that how-to video. I want you to watch that how-to video, set up an interval, set up your first interval. Decide how long you want your workout to be, including your warm-up and cool-down. Save it. That's the biggest thing. Don't forget to save it, because if not, then you've done that work, it's not there. And then I want you to put on your calendar when you are going to go try it out. When are you going to go use that interval timer? It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It can be 10 minutes. Start small, build up to a longer stretch of time. Once you have tested it out and you've actually gone out and you've used the interval timer successfully, post in the group, let me know how it goes, celebrate it. One of the other cool things about the interval timer is you can listen to music in the background and the sounds of the interval go over top of your music. You don't have to be looking at your phone. You can literally put it in that pocket. You can put on the armband, however you carry your phone. You push start, make the screen black, and you go. There's no other managing it once you managed it beforehand. So that is everything you need to know about interval timers. The how-to video is going to show you actually how to go through it and give you a little bit better of a breakdown and visual, but it's for everybody. If you're looking for a way to switch up your cardio routine, maybe become a little bit faster, get a little bit stronger, strengthen your lungs and your heart a little bit more, check it out, try it out, and let me know how it goes. Once you've tried it out, remember, make a post in the group. If you're on YouTube, make sure to jump into the group so you can make the post so that I can see that you're doing it as well. So I will see you all next month, first Thursday of the month at noon Eastern Standard Time. And that will also be a lot of talk about our podcast that's coming. So keep watching in the group. Let me know what questions you have. I will see you all next time.